All right, tool number 9. Here we are, guys. Take a look. It's a very challenging hole. Never know what they're going to set up, whether it's going to be a launch hole or kind of a precision shot. Now, this is a tricky one because it's very tough, especially if you have to play this side of the fairway. It looks like it is a tailwind, so they're kind of promoting you to. And if you can have a 16 or a 17 wind, that's typically going to make it enough to get it to the large part of that fairway. You'll see opponent here. It looks like he's just going to be doing a layup. It's something that you can do, but it's going to be very tricky. If you try to land here, you're probably going to need some backspin to stop it. But if you can stop it short of that bunker, it is going to make it kind of easy to just kind of lay up and play safe. So I will show you guys how to, try to successfully do that, but it's not going to be in this guide. I'm probably going to more go for it. I don't know what the opponent used, but you can see very close to maybe running through. So there's some luck to that shot. Especially the first couple times you're seeing it, you really need to make sure that you don't go long into that bunker. Now, what I'm going to even try to do is maybe get this wind up even more. Try to get this is a very tough shot. So one of the things that I may try to do when I get winds like this, so I'm thinking about just kind of keeping the spin down and try to keep it out of the water. So you're going to see that what I'm going to do is just try to hit that other side of the fairway. Just get it up there somewhere decent. You can see I get a good ball. See where that ends up landing. So you'll see that I backed off of the spin, and the biggest reason is to just try. I was kind of intentionally playing for this fairway here. You can see that the good ball probably just ended up leaking it a little bit. But what happens if you try to go too much, if you start to bring this part of the water into play. So it may be something that you want to avoid. So if I go no more than, say, 3 topspin, it's very unlikely that I'll make it that far to bring that into play. Now, ideally, you'd like to be in the fairway, but it's going to be hard to make either way. More so than anything, when you play it up there and just kind of thread it up, it kind of ensures that we can easily reach the green. Now, that's not going to be really an issue. As you can see, opponent's still easily going to be able to reach the green. However, what if he rolled into the rough? Then he wouldn't have been able to. Whereas when I roll into the rough, I'm still guaranteed to be able to get there. So what I'm going to try to do here is a little bit more aggressive. I wouldn't necessarily recommend going for this, but I'm going to try to. I'm thinking somewhere in the neighborhood of maybe 2 per ring. I would maybe kind of encourage you guys to just kind of play it safe. Just kind of play it over here with a lot of curl. As I mentioned, I'm thinking somewhere in the neighborhood of 2 per ring. It's 9-ish rings. Somewhere in here. Quite a bit of curl. Perfect ball. Let's just see how this. It looks like it's just a little bit too much on the adjustment, but very aggressive. I wanted to go aggressive and try to give you guys something that you could see. Well, you can still albatross it. Ideally, what you would do, as opposed to what I did, is you would miss on the right side of the fairway. So you can see I missed the left of the fairway. Had I hit perfect ball, I may have been in that right-hand rough off the tee. So you can see that the great ball to the left just kind of moves it to the other half of the fairway. If you miss in the right edge of the fairway, you have a better angle into the green. I missed on the left, so I had to play kind of a ridiculous curl to try to still get that one on line. But you can see, it's still going to be somewhat makeable, and it's going to ensure that you can get to the hole. Good luck with that. What I'm going to encourage you guys to do is kind of, stack your accounts all in one division. Whether you're going to play master, expert, whatever it is, keep them all in the same division. Try not to split them up on this mini game. Biggest reason for that is you really want more exposure. It's going to give you an advantage if you get 5 plays at this, because guys aren't getting to dial this in quite as much. They just got to kind of go for something. Another thing, don't qualify today no matter what. I would just make it a point to not. Typically I'll say, well, if you get an albatross, just go for it. But I don't think you're going to get an albatross on this course. And it's going to be too late. The only one that's really albatrossable is hole number 9. So with that being said, I don't think that, you can't play 8 holes and then just forfeit out on 9. It's not going to work like that. So, don't qualify today. Try to get as many practice runs as you can. The only exception, I guess, would be if you get hole 1, if you get, you make something else on 2 and 3. That's the only real exception. I would just, for more than anything, try to get yourself dialed in to where you have more exposure to this. And another thing to keep in mind, the brackets are going to be a little bit softer because there's actually twice as many people playing in the weekend round, on the Saturday round as what's usual, because there's only 1 cut instead of 2. So you'll see it only gets cut to top 10 people. And what we usually play is the top 5 people, because first there'll be a cut, the qualifier, then there'll be a cut on the opener. So you're only playing the top 5 accounts from every division. However, since you're going to be playing in the weekend round, the top 10, the brackets are going to be softer, which means that they're going to be more prone to mistakes. So it's okay if you don't have the best qualifier. Another thing, you may not even need the qualifier score. If you can just go out and put up a good number on the weekend round, chances are you'll get a top 3 finish. So you have 9 holes, and if you can just get a couple to fall, you're not going to need a tiebreaker, potentially. It won't matter. I actually remember, the last mini game that we had, I just went into the opening round and just shot lights out and was just able to make everything. It made for an easy win to where, you can win by a couple strokes just because you're making everything. Or if you just get, those 3 holdouts on this setup, it's probably going to be enough to project you into the win, especially with, the brackets being a bit softer than they usually are. So you're going to have half the competition, which you usually have, which is good. So keep that in mind. Good luck, and see you guys on the future guides.